Hello guys, this is Dark Fox Sage 2 and we are back with our new fanfic, which is What If Naruto Had to Choose Between 15 Lovers Part 2. And if you enjoy this fanfic, then please press the like button and please subscribe to the channel. It motivates me to upload more fanfic like these for you all. Now let's start the fanfiction. Are ya ready yet? No. Hurry up. You guys eat too slow. Shut up, Dobie. Don't tell me to shut up, you bastard. I'll kick your ass from here to sand. Naruto-kun, Sai interjected, disrupting the two boys' argument. I'm done eating. What is it you want to show us? The other men nodded as they were done too, but Sasuke just glared at them all. Sasuke's confessional. I don't have to hurry up for anybody. Thanks. Harder, Sasuke Tem. Faster. Hurry up, Baka, and stop teasing me. Okay. For Naruto Uke, blush. With one last glare at the crowd, Sasuke rose from his seat. I'm done. Finally, Kiba exclaimed, for he was never known for his patience. Naruto rolled his eyes as Sasuke activated his Sharingan and turned to the dog lover. Well then, what the hell are you waiting for? Get upstairs. The men grumbled past the hyperactive blonde and dragged themselves upstairs. They really wished they were able to spend some more time with the boy. Sai, realizing in a quick stroke of genius why the blonde was eager for them to go upstairs, raced to the top of the steps past the gloomy men. Haha, ultimate Uket male. Sasuke, still somewhere near the bottom of the steps, growled. He was unofficially the one who was supposed to call out for the Dobie's messages, not Sai. What does it say? Neji asked, ready to use his Byakugan to read the message quickly and prepare for whatever the blonde had in store for them. He no longer doubted the blonde's ability to come up with slow, grueling, piss-your-pants-worthy ideas to get the weaklings out of the competition. The Byakugan wielder smirked. Nato's naughty side was such a turn-on. Sai began to read the letter aloud. Dear seems, Naruto seemed to have once again scrawled in Ukes, but Iruka then crossed out Naruto's words and put them back as they originally were. My birthday was October 10th. Sai stopped reading in shock and all the men in the room gasped. It was. How horrible are they? Fighting over a hot boy for years but they can't even bother to figure out his birthday. Needless to say, they felt horribly guilty. Really? Shikamaru breathed out in shame. Sai continued reading. Yes, really. Since Iruka was sick with fever during my special day, or the author didn't update, he thought it would be a good idea for us to celebrate it. Wow, my first real birthday celebration, and I'm spending it with such cute boys. The men all blushed. Meet me at the Konoha's Mall, we'll just say Konoha has a mall now, at 11 a.m. See ya soon. Naru-chan. After Sai read and placed the letter down, he joined the tense silence that followed. How come no one knew of Naruto-kun's birthday? Lee broke the silence. Gaara's eyes narrowed at Kakashi. I blame Kakashi. You're his sensei. Shouldn't you have known this? Kakashi's one visible eye narrowed at the Shukaku vessel. What the hell are you talking about? Aisu did know of Naru-chan's birthday. No you didn't, Shikamaru said calmly. Yes I did, Kakashi replied vehemently. No you didn't. You can't tell me whether or not I remembered my precious's birthday. If I said I remembered it, then I remembered it, damn it. Did not. Shikamaru. Did too. Kakashi. Did not. Shikamaru. Did too. Kakashi. Did not. Shikamaru. Did too. Kakashi. Did too. Shikamaru. Did not. Kakashi. Shikamaru smirked victoriously. Kakashi finally caught on. Wait. You tricked me. What did you get him then? Choji interjected. Pause. Something hella cool. What? Itachi joined in. Kakashi's confessional. Pout, why is everyone ganging up on me? Fine. I didn't know, okay. It doesn't matter. Naruto doesn't care for presents. He's not a material person. Anyways. He turned to face Sasuke. You should have known his birthday. You are his best friend. Many glared at this fact. Sasuke was the closest to the blonde. Sasuke crossed his arms over his chest, turned to the side, and put his nose in the air. No one told me. The Seams gasped. Sasuke's confessional. I was busy thinking about other things about Naruto. Like his smile, his laugh, his whiskers, his grin, his cute nose, his lean body, his tight ass. Well, Kiba said, I think the person to blame here is. And so the argument continued. Threats, curses, jutsus, and accusations bounced across the room. Even a few fist flew, few fist flew, try saying that 3 times fast. Until. Shit you guys. We're gonna be late. It's 10:55 and we haven't even left to our rooms yet. Sai exclaimed. Neji's eyes widened. We're late. I'm never late. Then his eyes narrowed as he turned to the silver-haired Junin. I blame Kakashi. Who the hell designed this mall, Iruka-sensei? I don't see one freaking Ichiraku stand anywhere. Iruka sighed. You are so right, Naruto, he drawled sarcastically. What were those retards thinking? No Ichirakus. Naruto turned to his former sensei. Yeah, you see, you understand me, Iru-sensei. Everyone else would have been all like, Naruto, that's so stupid. Why would they put an Ichiraku here in the mall? Yada yada yada. Ah, Iruka nodded absent-mindedly. Speaking of everyone else, Naruto, where is everyone else? Naruto looked around the entrance to the mall angrily. Yeah, where are they? Goddamn Ukes. Iruka heard his surrogate son mutter. Language. The Chunin snapped. Naruto waved off the scolding. I'm 18 and I can't even swear. That's some old bullshit right there, Iru, but Naruto was cut off as Iruka slapped the back of his head. When you're too old to avoid that, you can swear. Iruka puffed out his chest. Naruto-kun. Naruto-kun. Said boy turned to meet 11 hot, sweaty, blushed, out-of-breath boys. Needless to say, the group gathered much attention. Sorry pant, that we're late. Kakashi's pant fault. Choji panted. Ah, it's always Kakashi's fault. Naruto nodded. Kakashi pouted. Okay. Naruto clapped his hands together to get the attention of the men. So, I hope you are all ready for today's challenge. Sai's confessional. Challenge. If I knew we had a challenge, I would have been more prepared. Damn it. To get straight to the point. Naruto cleared his throat and then beamed at all the men. I want presents. And lots of them. Kakashi spluttered. It doesn't matter. Naruto doesn't care for presents. He's not a material person. Kakashi's confessional. Woo, I could have sworn Naruto didn't care for those things, and here he is demanding that we get him presents. Dramatically puts hand over his heart. Well, I never. Itachi grinned. In all honesty, he expected this, of course. Itachi's confessional. I mean, really, Naruto's gorgeous, kind, strong, too perfect to be true. He had to have some kind of weakness, a selfish fetish. Apparently it's having hot guys shop for him. Shrug, who would have guessed? Neji sighed in happiness. A challenge practically made for him. He prides himself in being an excellent shopper. Neji's confessional. I bet he's the kind of guy who likes shoes. Probably black leather Armani ankle-cut boots for the winter. But I think he's more for comfort, so maybe Prada white, silver sports running sneaks. Shikamaru sighed. Shikamaru's confessional. Think simple, think simple. Brain blast. I couldn't resist. XD, do you think they have an Ichiraku here? Neji's confessional. Oh, or maybe shirts. There's this one Zanya button-up shirt. So hot on Naruto's rippling muscles. And, oh my gosh, I could have sworn I saw a Dulce and Gabbana red dark blue pinstriped dress shirt here, Biofre. Slim fit. Choji's confessional. Mongolian barbecue, drool. Neji's confessional. Underwear. Does Versace make underwear? Okay. We're providing you each with 6,000 yen, roughly $50 or 26 pounds, so go buy me something that you think I will like. Something creative. And cute. I really think you guys don't know much more about me except I like orange, ramen, and I want to be Hokage. But think between the lines. Think outside the box. Analyze me and think back to times we've had conversations. Surely I'm deeper and more profound than orange, ramen, and my dream to be Hokage. Uruka's confessional. Could have fooled me. What the hell are you waiting for? Go buy presents and make me happy. Be back here in an hour. Quote. And the seams were off. With Shikamaru. So was Naruto telling us that he didn't want ramen? Or was he saying that it would be okay to get ramen? It should be okay as long as it's miso. But maybe I should be more creative. Something associated with ramen, surely. And his dream of the Hokage title. Orange too. An orange Hokage hat with a ramen symbol on it. No. And orange ramen cup with a Hokage symbol on it. No. Let's see. An orange with a Hokage drawn on it put in a ramen cup. No. Naruto, you are so troublesome. With Choji. Present for Naruto, After 8 minutes of hardcore thinking. I think I traded my imagination for the last potato chip when I was younger. With Itachi. Itachi quickly scanned store windows for anything remotely interesting enough to make him actually want to go into the store. As he walked, he muttered to himself, Naruto, gift. Naruto, gift. And then suddenly, wow, Itachi breathed. What he was staring at was absolutely gorgeous. So gorgeous, in fact, that it seemed to make the entire window glow in an eerily beautiful light. And the eldest Uchiha could have sworn he heard angels humming a holy tune from above just to make the whole moment more intense. Itachi took a step closer to the window, and once he got a better look, sighed disappointedly. It was nothing more but his own reflection in a very reflective glass. Itachi sighed and walked away. Sometimes such handsomeness can be so beautifully unjust. With Neji. Oh my, gee, this shirt is perfect. How much? Neji gushed. The white violet muscle shirt would go so well with his eyes. 700 yen, roughly $49 or 25 pounds, Hyuga-sama. The female employee gushed. Neji was one of the store's favorite customers, and she liked to help him personally every time he came into the store. His tight ass was to die for. Neji winced as he glanced down at the 6,000 yen in his hand. There was still 300 yen left for Naruto. 300 yen out of 6,000 yen. You do the math. And he really couldn't afford to leave the shirt here. It was really popular, and by the time he leaves the mansion and the competition is over, the shirt would be long gone. Naruto would understand. I'll take it. He nodded determinedly. His piercing gaze reached the brunette employee and she blushed as she ran to the cash register to ring it up. With Rock Lee. What to get for Naruto? As he walks aimlessly throughout the store, he spots an anime shop. Anime Advanced. I'm making it up. He entered the store only to be bombarded with mangas, season DVDs, and countless posters of shirtless bashonens and tiny girls with huge watery eyes. Wow. Fullmetal Alchemist. Bleach. Inuyasha. I've never heard of such, never seen such huge. Amazing. Rock Lee gazed at the FLCL section of the store and became instantly entranced by a character called Commander Amurao. If you don't know him, then just Google him on images. Trust me, something will stand out to you. XD. With Sasuke. From the moment Sasuke realized he loved Naruto, he wanted to spoil the blonde boy rotten. And this, of course, would be an excellent opportunity, but how are you to spoil someone rotten with only 6,000 yen? The most he was able to do in his genin days was buy the dobi as much ramen as his heart desired, but ramen won't help him out in this situation. Naruto, what do you want? Sasuke randomly walked into one store and then he spotted it. The perfect present. Naruto has to have it. A foot massager. Naruto always complains about how much his feet hurt after long missions. And better still, it comes in orange and can be personalized. Sasuke, not able to find any of them, asked the employee at the cash register. Sorry son, that man who just walked out took the last one. Sasuke gasped and looked out the window. Surely enough, an aging man had 2 bags in hand, and without hesitance, Sasuke ran out of the store and after the man. Oi, old man, stop, wait. The balding man turned around to meet the desperate eyes of the young Uchiha. You bought the last foot massager. Yeah. Are they good? The man smiled and the forming crinkles around his eyes turned upwards. Why yes. They help me relax when I get too sore. As a matter of fact, this is my third one. There was one for my upstairs bathroom, one for my wife, and this one is going in our downstairs bathroom. Sasuke pulled out his 6,000 yen lightning fast. I'll buy it from you. Excuse me. I said I'll buy it from you. No thanks. I'm Uchiha Sasuke. I have money. I'll give double, no, triple, what you paid for it. The man became slightly frightened by Sasuke's desperate tone, so he slowly began to back away. Sasuke saw the man trying to discreetly retreat and his Sharingan was somehow unconsciously activated during his babbling. Okay, look. Sasuke took a deep breath in and calmed down, effectively calming down the other man as well. This is very important to me. You see, I'm in this competition, the Uket. The Uket. My daughter is totally in love with that Naruto boy. Sasuke growled possessively but kept himself in check. Naruto. He took another deep breath in and restrained from pinching the bridge of his nose in frustration. He needed to get this just right. I'm in a challenge right now and I need to give him the perfect present. I found the perfect present, that foot massager, but you bought the last one, so now I don't know what to get him. Sorry. The man said, indifference lacing his tone. The Sharingan user's lip twitched. Okay. Well, now I see that you're obviously not going to give it to me, so I guess I have no choice but to. He trailed off and with sudden quick speed snatched the bag out of the old man's hand. He took off. Hey, get back here. Where are you going with my? But the rest of his words were cut off as Sasuke turned a quick corner. Adrenaline pumped through his veins as he took off. Sasuke never stole anything before. He always had too much pride to do so and he looked down upon thieves, but now, look at him, running away from an aging family man with a foot massager. The things you do to me, Dobi. With Neji. Oh my gosh. What do? I only have half an hour left and I haven't even made it out of the second level of the mall. How the hell am I going to find Naruto a gift with only 300 yen? Kami. Sucks to be you, Neji. With Itachi. Wonder what foolish little brother is up to. With Choji. Bring it on. Bring it on. Bring it on. Choji growled, slamming his fork and knife down on the table eagerly with a hungry roar. Ladies and gentlemen, a loud man with a microphone announced, Choji Akimachi is here today to break his previous Konoha record of 52 eaten 2-pound Mongolian barbecue ribs. Let's give it up for our reigning champ. The Choji Akimachi. Wow, I can't believe he's attempting to beat his record. I heard he's in this competition to win over this blonde boy. The barely hushed whispers circulated throughout the ever-growing crowd. Choji sighed. Fans and their gossip. What's the prize if he beats his record? One teenage male called out. The announcer gave a dramatic pause and it seemed like the lights dimmed as he was cast in a dramatic light. 1.5 pounds of raw Kobe beef. The old man whispered. The crowd gasped. Kobe beef. Such Konoha simpletons' eyes had never even graced Kobe beef, only able to hear about it from fancy commercials where rich men were fed it by skinny women in skimpy bathing suits as they lounged around in their luxuries. It was amazing. Kobe beef. Choji breathed. He could eat that beef and give Naruto something else for his birthday challenge. In all honesty, if Naruto picked someone like Sasuke, Itachi, Gaara, or Neji to be his partner, the blue-eyed boy would eat Kobe beef on a daily basis. Yet if Choji lost, he could still have his memories with his Kobe beef. But he cared for the blonde too much, and even the most luxurious meat in the world would taste like sawdust if he wasn't sharing with his special blonde. Who knows, maybe Naruto would invite him to eat the beef with him. If you win Akimachi-sama, the announcer put the microphone right up to the chubby boy's thick lips, what would you do with the meat? I would share it with my special someone with the hopes of gaining their affections. Choji said confidently into the microphone, not a waver in his voice. The girl swooned. Endless plates of Mongolian ribs were placed in front of the overweight nin, and the chefs in the kitchen were struggling and sweating to make more to feed the Akimachi's seemingly endless appetite. Are you ready? The announcer questioned. Choji nodded. Get set. Choji positioned his fork and knife right over his plate and ignored the droplet of nervous perspiration that dribbled down to his eyebrow. Go. And Choji dug in. With Naruto, Iruka, and the three genins. Iruka-sensei, can you buy me lemonade? I want the biggest cup. Naruto tugged on the tan Chunin's sleeve like a 4-year-old rather than an 18-year-old. But Naruto, Iruka protested, how come you didn't bring your own wallet? Well, I'm sorry. Naruto threw his arms off of his fatherly figure as if he had been burned and turned to the side, with his arms crossed over his puffed-out chest and his nose in the air. I thought you would buy me a simple cup of lemonade after you made me cry out of worry on my special 18th birthday. The Genin sighed. Here's another hissy fit. Udon sighed. Naruto snapped his head towards the sniffling boy and glared at him through mock tears in a false hurt expression. Naruto's confessional. I, Uzumaki Naruto and next Hokage of the Leaf Village, has never thrown a hissy fit. It wasn't my fault I got sick. Iruka mumbled off. He still felt guilty about that. I'm sorry, Iruka-sensei. Naruto sobered up seeing his favorite sensei so sad. You don't have to buy me the lemonade if you don't want to. I should have brought my own money. Iruka sniffled. Iruka's confessional. Cha, wipes away fake tears, you aren't the only prankster Naruto. He. I don't have to buy that whiny uke lemonade. Chibi Iruka holds up victory sign. Naruto turned away with a sad smile and went to go play with the genins. Iruka frowned. Iruka's confessional. Ah, well, it is his birthday. Come, Naruto, you big oaf. Iruka sighed. Naruto grinned evilly yet turned around to meet Iruka with a shy smile. Naruto's confessional. Haha, tried to defeat me with those lame sniffles and sobs. Pesh, I am the next Hokage of course. What kind of leader would I be if I fell for something stupid like that? Okay Naruto, what and how much do you want? Sighed the Chunin again, pulling out his soon-to-be empty wallet. Just the super large super sweet lemonade with lots of sugar please. Iruka's confessional. Kami. Oh no. Konohamaru whined. Please don't make the boss hyper. Remember what happened last tea. Shut up Konohamaru. I won't get hyper. Last time was different. Once the 1-foot-tall lemonade was carefully balanced over to Naruto, he immediately began to put large scoopfuls of sugar into his already over-sweetened lemonade. 5 minutes later. Woo, Moegi whispered. Naruto ignored her and still added sugar. His once liquid lemonade looked like a yellow slushy. Iruka pinched the bridge on his nose in exasperation as Naruto declared he was finally able to consume, if he could, his drink. The tanned man watched as Naruto took a large gulp from the giant cup. When his head re-emerged from the large container, and his face was sopping wet, he frowned. Needs more sugar, the blonde whispered to himself and began to throw in more scoopfuls. Iruka very much knew that he was setting a hyperactive sugar-loaded Naruto out freely into an unsuspecting world and he couldn't do anything about it because Naruto looked too cute. But he won't look so cute when half of the mall is destroyed. Iruka let his head fall into his hands. Kami, what have I done? With Sasuke. Pant. Smirk. Pant. Sasuke turned a corner that led into one of the janitor's many closets. He quickly shut the door and stared up at the bare flickering bulb on the light gray ceiling with the stolen bag clutched to his chest. All for you Naruto. All for you. Sasuke chanted in his mind. He slowly placed the shopping bag down on an overturned bucket. He opened the bag and pulled out. A snow jacket. WTF. Expression was plastered on Sasuke's face as he soon remembered that the man was carrying more than one bag. Oh, goddammit. With Neji. Of course. Why didn't I think of it before? And Neji went off to the nearest 100-yen store. American equivalent to the Dollar Tree, 99-cent store, etc. With Choji. The crowd chanted and cheered. Choji eats the meat so fast it's like guzzling down water, look at him go. The announcer raved. This man must have some serious motivation. Choji smirked between chewing and swallowing. Naruto. The crowd began counting the ribs the fat teen was eating as he officially passed his previous world record. 61, 62, 63. Ew. Gross. 62, 61. The crowd began to murmur off as their faces morphed in disgust. "Aw, wait." The announcer cheered as his once dejected mood brightened considerably as he realized the great Choji Akimachi was not done yet. The crowd began to cheer again. 62, 63. That Choji Akimachi, the announcer thought, smiling wryly at the determined teen. What a guy. With Sasuke. And he had these crazy, desperate eyes. He claimed he was Sasuke Uchiha, but that young prodigy would never stoop so low as to shoplift. And those Sharingans were Su contacts. The old man Sasuke had borrowed from was now talking to shinobi patrollers, no doubt describing him. Sasuke's confessional. Dramatic emo sigh, my reputation is Su screwed. Sasuke uncharacteristically shamefully walked up to the ranting man and tapped him meekly on the shoulder. The man turned around and his eyes widened as he realized that the criminal had returned to the scene of the crime. He turned to the police, viciously poking Sasuke's chest with his index finger. That's the guy. One of the patrolling shinobis pushed up his shinobi Konoha head protector just to scratch thoughtfully at his head. He sure does look like that young Uchiha, don't he? Yep. The other replied, squinting his eyes at the young brunette, sure does. Sasuke rolled his eyes at their stupidity. Sasuke's confessional. I swear, these fuckers are getting dumber every year. He turned back to the scandalized man. Sir, I am so sorry I took your bag. It is so unbecoming of me. I really hope we can avoid this getting out of the public, for I still have to keep up the honor of my clan to keep up. I don't know why I did what I did. I was just under so much stress, it was killing me. I just had to get the perfect present for him, or that goddamn Hyuga and that pretty boy Aniki of mine will beat me and my kitsune will eliminate me and he won't love me. And I finally find the perfect present, one that'll beat out both of my rivals, and I find out that you took the last one. And I didn't know what came over me, so now I came to correct my mistake because I found out I. Sasuke paused to take a deep breath after his continuous stress rant, while the man and two patrollers looked at him with a retard say what expression. Took the wrong bag. Sasuke threw the shopping bag containing the winter jacket into the air, and yanked the other one the man had in his hand. His grip was so hard that the thin, brittle man fell flat on his face, but Sasuke paid him no heed as he ran 3 floors up to his current safe janitor closet. As his feet pumped up and down, his train of thought was quite one-tracked. Let me get this goddamned foot massager for this uber sexy doby so I'll be safe in that house with him for another motherfucking week. With Naruto. 10 more minutes and I will have my first real birthday presents. With Choji. Woo. And Choji Akimachi beat his previous Konoha record of 52 Mongolian barbecue ribs by 16 ribs, resulting in an astounding final count of 68 ribs. Give it up for the man who never lets you down, Choji Akimachi. The crowd roared and raved. Itachi walked by as he made his way back to Naruto with his present in hand. Kobe beef. That's a good idea. I should have done that. Itachi's confessional. And gain an extra 4 pounds. No, I don't think so. And so Itachi walked away and rolled his eyes as the attention turned away from Choji and to his ass. People are perverts. With Sasuke. A panting Sasuke entered the janitor's closet. Phew. Okay, let's get right down to it. He placed the shopping bag carefully onto the same overturned bucket and peered inside the bag to see. Aw fuck. Snow boots that matched the previous winter coat. Sake's confessional. This is some straight up bullshit, right here. And so Sasuke decided to take his frustration out on the janitor's closet. I am so fucking done with this bull. Censored. Exclamation mark. Dollar and dollar and dollar. Dollar and dollar hash dollar and hash. Hash dollar and. 10 minutes later. Yeah, actually I did see a really hot boy run in through that door. Why? No time, lady. We got ourselves an Uchiha impersonating thief to catch. One of the nins said, while the other blinked and the victimized man nodded aggressively. Oh, whatever. The teen went back to her shopping. The three men advanced slowly towards the closet and when they opened the door found a miserably sobbing Uchiha. Well, he was sobbing on the inside. What they were greeted with was a Sharingan-possessed, anger-motivated, former Konoha top rookie, emo teen. Now, the aging man had enough common sense to run. Hell, he was almost to the first floor and out the mall, but our two favorite patrolling shinobis don't have much common sense, as we should have all by now assumed. Mr. Uchiha, sir, you're gonna have to come with us. We are afraid you've been criminalized with theft twice in the same day. And what if I choose not to come with you? Sasuke growled. What if I choose to find that old Sanuva bitch and get my goddamned foot massager? One of the men shrugged. I guess that would be bad. This answer was decent enough for Sasuke as he took off after the man for his assuredly final bag. Yet these two surprisingly underestimated Anbu-ranked shinobis were right on the tail of our Sasuke, and unfortunately caught him before he could even make it down the end of the corridor. With Naruto and remaining contestants. Yay. Now I get to open my presents, right, Iruka-sensei? All men except for the youngest Uchiha were gathered around the lemonade stand where the blonde had been waiting rather impatiently. Right, Naruto. Iruka smiled and patted the 18-year-old on the head familiarly. The sweet scene of Naruto huddled around by hot, eager men ready to give him gifts was surprisingly heartening. Some of you couldn't read that sentence without a perverted grin breaking out on your face, huh? Okay. The blonde scanned the crowd. I want Kiba to go first. Okay. The Inu boy muttered shyly and shuffled forward. Here you go. Kiba said quickly and shoved the wrapped box towards Naruto's chest with such force the blonde nearly toppled over. Shikamaru rolled his eyes. Shikamaru's confessional. Yawning retard. Naruto opened up the present to find a cute plushie of a brown-red dog and a orange-yellow fox kissing. It was really cute. Ah, Lee cooed. Lee's confessional. I'm a hopeless romantic. Swoons precariously. Kiba growled at how the taijutsu specialist ruined the moment. Kiba's confessional. He needs to stop smiling and close his damn mouth. He's blinding my poor Naru-chan's sensitive blue eyes. It's so cute, Kiba. Thank you. He got on his toes to give the other boy a hug. The seams fumed with jealousy as Kiba smiled with an adorable lopsided grin on his face. Let's see. Naruto mumbled. Oh, how about Sai? Sai smirked and walked up to the blonde. He handed Naruto a soft, wrapped present and the blonde eagerly tore apart the delicate paper to find a belly shirt. Oh my gosh. Naruto gasped, holding up the baby tee to his chest. It's orange. Thanks, Sai. Sai smiled politely, but when he was out of view from the bright boy he grinned deviously. What Naruto hadn't seen was that on the back of the belly shirt, there was an arrow pointing downwards towards his ass with the labeled words, beware. Sai's property. Sai's confessional. I'm so smart. Chilly victory sign. What about you, Rock Lee? Naruto called up the other boy. Yosh. My turn. You are going to love my present, Naruto-kun. Now Naruto was getting excited. Well, what are you waiting for? Show me. Lee pulled out his present and handed it to Naruto. It's small. Could it be jewelry? Naruto wondered happily. Naruto quickly unwrapped the present to find. His face fell down in disappointment. Yet Lee did not notice this. You want me to put them on you? He offered politely. No, it's okay, Lee. Naruto tried, not really wanting the other seems to see his received present. Nonsense. Lee opened the package and slapped two large Commander Amaral look-like eyebrows on the blonde's face. The eyebrows were so thick, you could barely see the boy's blue eyes. And once again, though the men could barely conceal their laughter, they did so much better than a certain nin. Wahahahahahaha. Sai clutched his bare stomach with one hand and held onto Kiba for support with the other. The dog boy briskly brushed the laughing seam off and Sai fell to the floor with an ungraceful thud, the pain immediately ceasing his laughter. Ow! Sai whimpered, rubbing his abused thigh. The rest of the presents were passed on to Naruto, all with different reactions. Kakashi gave him a calendar. Kakashi. It's filled with tons of hot seams. Enjoy. Naruto. But I'm seam. How come you didn't give me a calendar filled with ukes? Kakashi. You, seam. Ha ha ha. You ukes have such a sense of humor. Naruto's feelings were very hurt. Gaara gave him magic sand. Naruto. Ooh, so you put the sand in the water and it turns all pretty. You don't expect those things from an evil, sand demon possessed, cold-hearted, Cage, now do you. Shino gave him tarantula-shaped chocolates. Naruto. So, this is entirely chocolate, right? I won't find a surprise if I take a bite. Shikamaru gave him a book. Naruto. 101 Things to Do with Ramen Noodles. It's a real book. You know me so well, Shika-kun. Shikamaru. Blush. Choji gave him Kobe beef. Naruto. Woo. Real Kobe beef. I can't believe this. How were you able to afford this? Choji. I win it in a contest. That's genuine, I hope you know. Pure Kobe beef. Wagyu cattle that lives off beer and ice cream. And up until the moment of slaughter, its thighs and rump are massaged by geishas. Naruto and Choji both look in awe at the Kobe beef. Naruto. Naturally, you'll have to eat with me, of course. Choji. Blush okay. Pause. Naruto. Can we eat it with ramen? Choji. Face fault. Neji gave him. Naruto. What the hell is this? Neji. You don't like it. Naruto. A pack of gum and a pair of plastic chopsticks. This cost you 6,000 yen. Uruka. Naruto, don't be stingy. Itachi gave him a photo. Itachi. Of myself. Naruto. Why would you give me a photo of you? Itachi. Pout. Naruto. Nervous though it is a very nice photo. Itachi. I got it because it was the best thing in this peasant market. Glares around at the surrounding mall. Naruto. Laughs nervously. Where's Sasuke? Naruto wondered aloud. As if on cue, Sasuke came through a separating crowd of people looking indeed very pissed. He was handcuffed and was being pulled along by two shinobi. Hey you. Naruto called out and ran towards the captive Sasuke. Where are you taking Sasuke? Sasuke. No. You have it all wrong, young lady. This is an Uchiha imposter. Naruto's face went red in embarrassment and anger. Who the hell are you calling, young lady? The shinobi took a step back. Okay sir. This, Uchiha, he took a disdainful glance towards is a thief. Sasuke. No. Sasuke never steals. He can explain this misunderstanding, right Tem? Well you see. Sasuke stuttered. First of all, I am Sasuke Uchiha. Second, I was just trying to get Naru-chan the perfect present. Is that too much to ask? I just wanted to get him the best present. Naruto was stunned into silence, and that's saying something. You got arrested to get the perfect present for me, Tem. Naruto whispered. Well, yeah, it was going to be your first birthday present from me, so I wanted it to be special. Ah, that's so sweet. One of the nins cooed while witnessing the touching scene. It was just an act of love, sir. Naruto sighed happily. Can't you let Sasuke go? This is his first offense. If this really is the Sasuke Uchiha you claim him to be, this is certainly not his first offense, said one of the men. What? Naruto gasped. He was caught looting some perverted books a few years back. We let him go that time, but we won't let him escape justice twice, said one of the men dramatically. Oh no. How long will he be in for? Naruto wondered aloud. 7 or 8 hours, give or take. Really? Sasuke asked, astonished at the small amount of time. Really, kid? But come on. You still have to do your time. As they dragged Sasuke away, Naruto suddenly asked, Hey Tem. What were you gonna get me? A foot massager. Orange. Personalized, and everything. Sasuke called back, but the youngest Uchiha missed Naruto's smile. Naruto's confessional. He remembered how I said I wanted one back in our Genin days. Sasuke. The entire group heard nothing, yet they were able to figure out that Sasuke was going to jail. Itachi's confessional. Oh no. My foolish little Odoto has become a drug addict. He's dragging our family name through the mud. It was crack, wasn't it? Pot. Ecstasy. Did the massacre of our clan really bother him that much? Itachi sighed. Don't drop the soap, little brother. He called out in futile. Back at the mansion. Moegi, Konomaru, Udon. Is the ceremony ready? Yup. Chief. The three chorused. Good. Let's begin. Naruto walked briskly to the table. No time for games because Sasuke Tem decided to get his ass thrown in jail and I have to bail him out after this. The men snickered at the youngest Uchiha's misfortune. Itachi's confessional. Goddamn drugs. Naruto raised a cup and called out, Gaara. The redhead smirked and went to retrieve his cup. Shikamaru. The shadow user sighed in relief and muttered how the short wait was troublesome. Choji. The chubby boy, who may have gained a good 5 pounds after this afternoon, walked up shyly to greet the blonde. I'm looking forward to us putting that Kobe beef to good use, Choji. Naruto whispered into the other's ear, driving the brunette up the wall with depraved ideas. The other seams glared with jealousy. And the names were called out one by one. Kiba, Shino, Kakashi, Itachi, Sai, and surprisingly Neji. So it has come down to me and Sasuke-san, nay Naruto-kun? Lee asked sadly. Ah. Said Naruto. Lee, your present was very sweet. And I can tell you put so much thought into it. But the main point of this challenge, besides me getting presents, was for me to find someone who understands me. The eyebrows, Lee, was very much not me. They were you. But the thought was sweet, and even though some people also missed the entire point of this challenge, the blonde glowered pointedly at Itachi and Neji, you, Lee, were very off. But Naruto-kun. And, yes, I do know that Sasuke going to jail for a present was a little over the top. I really didn't expect that sort of drama, especially from Sasuke. He should have known that giving me anything that remotely symbolizes me or simply something orange would satisfy me. But the fact that he remembered what I wish I had the money to purchase for from way back when we were 12, really blew me away. It made me see that maybe Sasuke cared for me longer and so much more than I may have ever realized. Lee sighed. So Lee, please don't be offended, but I think it is your time to go. Naruto lifted up the cup revealing Sasuke's name. And when Sasuke's bail is finally paid, I think he'll be glad to know that he won the challenge. The other men grumbled angrily. Goodbye, Naruto-kun. Good luck finding that special someone. Thanks, fuzzy brows. You too. Rock Lee gave a final nice guy pose, a blinding smile, and grabbed his pre-packed luggage from a random servant, as he left the building. The rest of the room's occupants went upstairs to prepare for bed, while Naruto headed out with his favorite frog purse to bail Sasuke out of prison. Naruto's confessional. Chuckle, I hope he didn't drop the soap. Konoha prison, or wherever they keep their criminals. Hiya Sasuke. You alright? Hey Naruto. Yeah, I'm fine. The Uchiha smiled, glad that the blonde came to pick him up. Oh my god. Sasuke. What happened? Naruto squealed. Huh. Sasuke stopped rubbing his abused ass to look at the blonde. Why are you clutching your ass? Did you drop the soap? Sasuke gave the blonde a blank stare. Did I drop the soap? Sasuke looked at Naruto with a WTF expression. Naruto's large watery blue eyes provided no answer. Sasuke then realized what the shorter boy meant and smiled, truly touched by the blonde's concern. No, yet almost as bad. Naruto gasped. I think that guy gave me a cavity search just because he could. Sasuke grimaced. Naruto paused and then giggled. Sasuke Tem's patrolling shinobis were eki hentai. Naruto laughed. Sasuke swatted at the blonde playfully. Shut up, Dobi. And the two walked back to the mansion, joking and laughing as they did 6 years ago. In bedroom 5 aka Kaka's pad, Kakashi laid awake in his bed. As the moonlight poured in from his window, he was kept alert by his thoughts. Uruka looked a tad bit cute today when he saw what I gave Naru-chan. That calendar with all those seams had him blushing like mad. The silver-haired man chuckled. If he weren't so into his precious Naru-chan, he would have thought that Uruka's blush was cute. And that the scar over his nose was undeniably attractive, bordering sexy. And maybe even that his protective worrying was heartwarming and adorable. But that was if he didn't love his Naru-chan. And he did, so all of those things about Uruka were invisible, even to his Sharingan eye. Fist, swords, feet, opposite chakras, and equal killer intent clashed as the two nins fought ruthlessly. Rocks and debris descended down towards an unknown oblivion as their chakra-induced footsteps caused the narrow-pathed cliff to crumble. The snake Sanin drove his sword through his opponent's chest. The other screamed in agony and unconsciously moved closer to the edge of the steep mountain. Naruto Uzumaki, the snake Sanin's voice caused a shiver of fear to volt down the blonde boy's back. Naruto edged away from the man. You do not yet realize your importance. You've only begun to discover the Kyuubi's power. Join me. Naruto ignored the words of the ebony-haired manipulator and unknowingly reached the steep edge of the cliff. With our combined strength, we can end this destructive conflict and bring order to all shinobi nations. I'll never join you. Naruto spat out in pure loathing. The third had never told you what happened to your father. Orochimaru's voice dripped with evil intent. Naruto glared at him. My father. I don't have a father. No. Naruto Uzumaki, Orochimaru grinned sickly. I am your father. Orochimaru then pulled at his hair, and right before Naruto's eyes, the skin glided off a mask, to reveal a strong-jawed, deeply tanned face, with dark blue eyes and sunshine blonde hair. Yondaime. Naruto gasped. No. Beep. 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 Naruto shot out of bed in a cold sweat. He observed his surroundings. Rich, expensive, plush furniture. He heard Choji's snoring in the other room. The smell of breakfast being cooked by the servants, wafting through his door. He was still in the Maison. Still with 10 hot guys. He was still with the Uket. The dream sequence was weird, huh? I don't watch Star Wars, just copied a scene that I saw on YouTube. Hope it came out okay. I can see a twist like that happening during the last episodes of Naruto, XD. The blonde sighed and gazed wearily at his alarm clock after turning it off. 9:32. Time to wake up. Sleepiness drained away and his body became quickly flooded with pure adrenaline. Naruto leapt out of bed and zipped through his bathroom, closet, and bedroom to prepare for the day. He looked like the Energizer Bunny. In a mere 5 minutes, at 9:37, Naruto Uzumaki was out the door and ready to begin the day and greet his favorite Bishonens. So are we all done with breakfast, now? Naruto beamed at the seams. Ah, Naru-chan. The group of men chorused. All right then. Get your ass upstairs, you should all know what is awaiting you by now, nay. Naruto looked around at the guys. Wait, where are the guys? Naruto turned hearing plenty of ruckus coming from the staircase leading to the Sem's dorms. Goddammit. Fuck you. Get the hell off of me. I was the first one to read it, first one to recognize it. I should be the established official ultimate Uket reader. Sasuke screamed at Sai, who was wrestling him to the ground, refusing to let him read the mail. Shut up, foolish little brother. Look at my face. Look at my face. My Naruto wanted me to read that letter since the very beginning. You and that cheap old bootleg version of you, and interjected, my name is Sai, just got in my way. Fat ass, get the fuck off before you cripple me. Itachi yelled at Choji, who was sitting on the eldest Uchiha's well-shaped legs in an attempt to keep him from getting any farther up the steps. Screw you. I'm not fat. I'm chubby. Chubby people can't read mail. That's discrimination, you prejudiced Sanuva bitch. I'll kill you. I'll kill all of you, goddammit. Gaara roared at them all. Particularly Shino, who was holding him back by the sash to his gourd with a death grip. Wan. Stop it, Shikamaru. Not my hair. Kami. Neji cried, a few tears threatening to spill out, as his hair was pulled roughly by the shadow user. As all the men struggled to come up with a plan, our long-haired Hyuga had an overdue epiphany. Well, golly goddime, he gasped at the sheer brilliance of his previous thought. I have a Byakugan. All the men stopped their violent bickering. What? Kiba breathed into the silence. I have a Byakugan, beaches. Neji cried out in triumph. As the other Seams attempted to tackle him, the pale-eyed boy began reading the ultimate Uket mail from a distance. Dear Seams, Neji chalked out, seeing as Shikamaru decided to stop pulling his hair and instead use the ponytail to strangle the Hyuga instead. How ya doin'? Been a while since we had a challenge, huh? Well, don't worry, I don't feel the need to put your loyalty and love to the test, for now. Insert evil grin here, but that doesn't mean eliminations are on hold. Instead, I'll be spending the day getting to know you all. I haven't gotten much one-on-one time with you guys, so why not now? I'll be spending 30 minutes with each of you. Here's a list and in which order I'll be meeting you guys and where. Neji paused, drawing out the effect as the men held their breath, forgetting all their death threats aimed at the Hyuga to listen. Neji continued, reading from a list. Name. Place. Time. Sai main living room 3 p.m. Kakashi bedroom 5 to 3:35 p.m. Kiba garden 1 to 4:05 p.m. Shino garden 4 to 4:35 p.m. Gara main fountain 5:05 p.m. Neji Sem's dorm loft 5:35 p.m. Itachi elimination room 6:05 p.m. Shikamaru garden 2 to 6:35 p.m. Sasuke bedroom 3 to 7:05 p.m. Choji dining room 7:35 p.m. See ya later, alligators. God, I love that saying. It never gets old with me. Naru-chan. See ya later, alligators. It's just like Naruto to say something corny like th. Kiba was cut off by a triumphant yell from Sai. Oh my god, he picked me first. Me first. Me first. That's a sign. Watch out, assholes. Sai's a threat. He sauntered off towards his room, Neji and Sasuke in grudging tow. Ooh yeah, me first. Check it. Hee hee. I get to meet Naruto-kun in my room. Hee hee hee. Kakashi then erupted into an endless giggling fit. Kakashi's confessional. Oh wait, my room. Remembers how his room looks like, refer to chapter 4, well damn. All the other Seams watched as the silver-haired Junin went from laughing and blushing, to calm and solemn, to frantic and wide-eyed. Must clean quickly. And Kakashi was gone. The men blinked, and left the loft, one by one. Only Shino was left. I don't talk much. I don't do much. No one has even seen my face. I leave no lasting impression on Naruto-kun. There's nothing that has kept me from being eliminated besides the simple fact that there is always someone worse than me. But once Choji is gone, that's mean cheeky smiley face, I'll be at the bottom of this competition. This may be my only chance to prove to Naruto-kun that I care. I can't mess this up. Determined eyes were hidden behind dark, circled shades. Shino's hands were fisted in his pocket as he walked off towards his room that he shared with Gaara to prepare for 4:35 p.m. Sai main living room 3 p.m. Sai waited impatiently for his blonde, loudly tapping his foot in annoyance and moaning his displeasure. Naruto-chan is lot. Sorry. Sai. A blur of blonde sped downstairs and through the great oak doors leading into the large, well-furnished room. Naruto was out of breath, his cheeks were pink and his eyes sparkled. Sai smiled. Don't worry about it, Koi. Naruto flushed pink at the nickname and began to explain his tardiness. Well, I was on my way and then Moegi had to start some mess about me being Uke, and I can't let something like that go, you know. So I told her how I was gonna be Seam, 'cause I am Tabeo. And then, Sai, why are you looking at me like that? Sai bit his lip and leered openly at the blonde. When he realized Naruto was directing a question to him, he brushed off the blonde's concern with a wave of his hand. Nothing. Nothing. Please continue, Naruto-kun. I am listening. Sai sat down on a plush sofa, keeping eye contact with the blonde. Naruto smiled and nodded, continuing. So, I said, I'm a beseem. Look at how big and strong I am. And she was all, you look like a girl. Juan, what a uke. And I wanted to slap her, but you can't slap girls, especially little girls. Nay, Sai, what are you doing? Sai rested his chin on the smaller boy's shoulder after wrapping his arms around the thin waist and pulling the sunshine-haired boy down to his lap. Nuffin. Sai's voice was muffled as he began to nuzzle the kitsune's neck. Well, okay. If you say so. I'll just continue with my street story. Blush. Blush. And then Aruka-sensei came and told us to not fight, and he said that I wasted nearly 10 Sai, no. Don't do that, it's distracting. Sai continued to place small, pinpoint kisses on the nape of Naruto's neck. Continue. Sai breathed out huskily as he turned his head to molest the other side of Naruto's neck. Don't worry, he assured. I won't leave any marks. Naruto just gulped. Alrighty then. Naruto was becoming very uncomfortable. So he said I was about 10 minutes late, so then I got here as fast as I could. I'm sorry, Sai. Sai smiled his signature cheery smile. It's okay, Naruto. I understand. It's not your fault. But Sai didn't understand, because his attention wasn't with Naruto's words but rather his lithe body. Naruto smiled, but a frown quickly returned. I hope you know that our 30 minutes was cut short. I won't be able to spend as much time with you as I will the others. Please don't be mad at me. Naruto pouted and his eyes were downcast. Sai unlatched himself from the blonde's neck and spun him on his lap so they were now face to face, chest to chest, groin to groin. Sai smirked. Don't worry, Naruto. We'll just have to make good use of the little time we have. Sai grinned lecherously. Naruto nodded, face still pink and eyes still clouded from Sai's foreplay. Ah, Sai, you're right. We should make good use of hey. Are you thinking about something perverted? No. Sai blinked in innocent confusion. Kya, Sai, I don't want to make out. I want to talk. Let's get to know each other. Naruto slid off the other's lap, leaving a delicious tingling affect of after friction on Sai's legs. He groaned miserably at the loss of contact. We already know each other. We were on the same team for forever. True. But I feel I could learn more. You are so mysterious, Sai. What makes you tick? Naruto lied down on the couch and rested his head on his propped up arms. He watched Sai diligently, waiting for an answer. The answer came rather quickly. My penis. Sai answered without a hitch in his voice, a tinge on his cheeks, or a waver in his stare. Naruto's sweat dropped. Naruto's confessional. I should have known. And your penis. Sai added in a futile attempt to seem selfless. Naruto sighed and pinched the bridge of his nose. Oh Lord, Sai. Yay, it's true we had little time, but I believe we made the best of it. Evil snicker, we definitely talked a lot. Well, we used our mouths a lot. Well, I used my mouth a lot. But I think we both enjoyed the experience all the same. There's no way Naruto-kun will eliminate me after the wonderful time we spent together. Grin. Naruto. He molested me the whole time. I told him, let's talk, but it was like he couldn't hear me. He acted like a brainless idiot. No surprise though. With people like Sai, there probably isn't enough blood for them to use their brain and dick at the same time. I hope the next one is a bit more talkative. Sai provided me with enough perversion to last me a week. Who's the next guy? Kakashi. The super pervert. Kakashi, excuse me, Ero Sennin. No offense. I just really wanted to get my point across. Chances of not being molested? 0, you say. Well, fuck. Kakashi bedroom 5 to 3:35 p.m. Kakashi. Your room is Sue. Naruto prepared to go on a full-fledged barrage of curse words and insults to fully describe his disgust at the porn-ridden room. You must admit, it would be an experience-worthy right to assume his irresponsible, mind-corrupting, unreliable, perverted, ex-sensei of turning his room into a one-person brothel as soon as his roommates were eliminated. But Naruto was very surprised to see that the room was ordinary. A few clothes about, open texts, messy bed, but the room was all around. Normal. To shock Naruto even more, Kakashi was resting on the bed, fully clothed, not giggling, and reading. Broaden your shinobi intellectual horizon. 105 differences between chakra and kai. The Xanbu's head snapped up in surprise as he felt the two resounding thuds of a kunai and shuriken embed in the headboard his head was resting against. In a split second Naruto was behind Kakashi, with a second kunai at his throat. Who the fuck are you and what have you done to Kakashi? Ah, Naruto-kun. You're concerned over my well-being. I'm touched. Kakashi dropped the book to let his hand slither up Naruto's inner thigh and brush against his groin. Gah! Naruto jumped away. The kunai in his hand flew through the air and landed with a clink on the hardwood floor, making the blonde jump a second time. Kakashi watched the flustered, paranoid blonde and smiled at how adorable his kitsune was. So cute. Okay. Naruto ran a hand through his yellow locks and sighed, aggravated. You are Kaka-sensei. Naruto could see the outline of Kakashi's lips turn upward in a smile through his mask. So, ya ready to talk? Kakashi asked, putting his innocent book down, folding a page's corner to mark his place. Yeah, any questions? Naruto stood up and sat down on the bed. Yeah, Kakashi. I was wondering, since you were my sensei and all, when did you start to like me? Kakashi's one eye became intense with so much feeling that Naruto, for once in his life, became thankful that the Junin had a mask to cover the rest of his face. For if not, the blonde would have surely fainted from the intensity of the deep, undescribable, profound emotion that took refuge on his ex-sensei's face. Hatake cupped the other's cheek. Since the very moment I saw you, Uzumaki Naruto. Really? Naruto wondered aloud, face flushed. Could his sensei have really had feelings for him all this time? He always thought Sasuke was Kakashi-sensei's favorite. To think that Kakashi-sensei loved him for so. Nah, I'm just joshin' ya. Kakashi laughed. Haha, you should have seen the look on your face. You were all, and Kakashi made an overdramatic expression of Naruto when he revealed his false answer. He then slapped his thigh and hooted in laughter. It was so funny. A vein bulged in Naruto's forehead and he picked up Kakashi's 105 differences between chakra and kai, and whacked him hard in the head with it. Kakashi clutched his head. OWWW. Naruto-chan. Why? 'Cause you were being a ruddy asshole. You know I was just playing with you. I love you, Naru-kun. Kakashi, who was now on the floor, propped himself on his knees and nuzzled his masked face into Naruto's closed lap. Naruto pushed him away and glared at the floor, only to find Kakashi's supposedly ninja educational book on chakra and kai, to actually have wedged in its center and deep in its spine, Ika Ika Paradise, volume 6 feet. Kakashi followed Naruto's gaze to his porno literature and laughed nervously. Well, you see, what had happened was, the silver-haired man had tried to explain. Yet, he was cut off as Naruto raised a hand to his face. Don't insult me with half-baked excuses and barefaced lies. Let's forget it and please answer my question, truthfully. No more games. Kakashi frowned. No more games? He questioned with a pout. No more games, Kakashi. Naruto repeated. Okay, fine. He inwardly whined. Here's how the story goes. Flashback. Kakashi-sensei. Why did you bring me here? We should be training with Sasuke Tem and Sakura-chan. The two males stopped walking after a good 15 minutes and Kakashi leaned on a tree's trunk and placed his Ika Ika away. One amused eye took the bitching blonde into regard. Sit. Kakashi pointed to the tree opposite him, and the blonde sat down, still flustered at being ignored. What? Iruka brought me here to teach you something. Something that his super shy self couldn't teach you on his own, seeing as he might die of embarrassment-induced hyperventilation. Really? Is it a new jutsu? No. A new shuriken technique? No. A brand spanking new kunai combo? No. Kaka-sensei. I have no idea why Iruka-san would ask me to teach you about this, seeing as I'm the last person anyone else would ask. What are you talking about? Kakashi slid down his trunk so he was face to face with Naruto. I am going to teach you about the birds and the bees. Huh. Sex. Naruto. Sex. 3 painstakingly long hours later. EU. Kakashi sensei. You've raped my innocent mind. I don't want to learn anymore. Naruto. Stop overreacting. And don't scream the word, rape, so loud when you're with me again. I don't want Tsunade on my ass for pedophilism. Who knew what the banana in between my legs can do? And diseases that can cause discoloration and warts down there, too. And the sandwich bag I have to put over my banana when I pop a girl's cherry. Kakashi snorted. Like you'll ever pop a girl's cherry, Naruto. Naruto stopped screaming obscenities. What? I will too. I will pop Sakura's cherry. EU. Kakashi-sen. Naruto, let me teach you one more lesson. Ga. No. My 13-year-old mind can't take any more. Remember how I explained what an uke and a seam was? Kakashi asked. Naruto nodded his head, but his tense body proved he wasn't entirely comfortable with the topic at hand. You are an uke. Am not. Now pay close attention. Ukes and seams are very different. In all actually, the only thing they have in common is that they are both boys and that they are both gay. But what I mean in different, is that they both have different tests in life. An uke's test in life is material. A seam's test in life is an uke. And when I say test, I mean these are the things that they desire. Understand? Naruto nodded, fascinated, and finally getting into the lecture. Seams have hot rugged bodies, dark hair, brooding personalities, and an intense gaze. Now, seams do not have hot rugged bodies, dark hair, brooding personalities, and an intense gaze because they like them, but because they know that ukes like hot rugged bodies, dark hair, brooding personalities, and an intense gazes. Got it. But Kakashi-sensei, I don't have dark hair, brooding person. That's because you're an uke, Naruto. He lifted a finger cutting off the blonde's protest. Ukes like comfortable surroundings. Go to an uke's house, his house is comfortable as shit. Naruto remembers Iruka's house and nods in agreement. Ukes like comfortable surroundings, so seams get comfortable surroundings. Trust me, if a seam could fuck an uke in a cardboard box, he wouldn't buy a house. Naruto, and, awed as he listened, fascinated as his sensei explained the differences between a pitcher and a catcher. Well, now I know what I have to do. The Junin cocked an eyebrow that went unseen behind his headband. What is that, Naruto? I have to have trained harder so I can have a hot rugged body. Dye my hair. Study Sasuke so I can perfect an ideal brooding personality and an intense gaze, also I can make Sakura swoon. I'll be the perfect seam, if I were gay. But I'm not. So I guess I'll just have to settle for being a nice guy phoner. Is that what they are called, sensei? No, Naruto-chan, you have me all wrong. First of all, it's called a gentleman collar, and second of all you are not meant to change yourself at all. He moved closer to the blonde. You have the perfect body, lean and lithe. He traced his index finger down the blonde's forearm, to his upper arm and then rested his palm on his shoulder. Beautiful sunshine hair. He racked his left hand through the other's golden locks. A explosive, bright, wonderful personality. He moved his right hand from the other's shoulder to cup his face and stroke the tanned, whiskered cheek gently. Naruto closed his eyes and leaned into the touch, but when he felt his sensei's warm breath on the tip of his nose, he opened his eyes once again. Kakashi's was smiling underneath his mask. They locked gazes. And the bluest, most envy-worthy gaze in all of the shinobi nations. Kakashi's face got dangerously close and Naruto was as red as a tomato. Scratch that. As red as Hinata. Naruto. Kakashi-sensei. Where are you guys? Sakura's loud voice boomed over the forest. Kakashi, with all his natural grace, leapt away from Naruto and back to his tree trunk, signature book in hand and a bored expression in place. Ah, there they are. Sakura found the two men. Sasuke. They are over here. Within a matter of seconds, Sasuke was right by Sakura's side, calmly observing the two members of Team 7, with cold yet inquisitive regard. Unfortunately, after such an encounter, Naruto was not able to pull himself together as quickly as Kakashi, so his teammates' concerned gazes rested on him. Sakura growled. Kakashi-sensei, what did you do to Naruto? Kakashi looked up from his book and blinked in false surprise. Why, Sakura-chan? Why do you accuse me of? Naruto's blushing. You told him something perverted. Why, I never. TCH, Sasuke interjected. We've been gone, training non-stop for 3 hours, while you were speaking to Naruto. Do you honestly expect us to believe that you said nothing to him? And Kami forbid if you did something. Here are my precious students, falsely accusing me of such scandalous deeds while they have no proof whatsoever. That I even spoken with our beloved Naruto, and yet they. Kakashi rambled on, and the three Konoha ninja continued to argue while Naruto held a hand to his chest to slow down his beating heart and took deep, gulping breaths in an attempt to cool down his searing face. No one bothered to ask him what happened, all already having their own assumptions and too stubborn to believe anything else. Naruto tried to stand, but when he was on his feet, he stumbled, and that's when Sakura came to the rescue. Ah, my poor Bobby. That evil Kaka man hurted you, Don't worry, Saku-chan's here now. She pulled him to her breasts, and Naruto, with a grin that threatened to split his face in two, delightedly nuzzled her chest. That talk with Kakashi really opened his eyes. Yet, of course, Sakura, still expecting her blonde male friend to be incoherent and naive, paid no mind. They begin to stumble back to the training ground, Naruto's face hidden in the pink-haired girl's bosom. Sasuke finished his glaring contest with Kakashi, and obviously won. How much can you do with one eye? And looked at his surroundings. Where's Naruto? Kakashi shook his head, ridding himself of whatever temporary hypnosis Sasuke's glare put on him. While you were brain-raping me with your evil Uchiha glare, Naruto went back to the training grounds face-fucking Sakura's tits all the way. He smirked as he saw Sasuke's face pale, his Sharingan activate, his face go boiled lobster red, and his mouth open to scream, "Goddammit, Sakura!" And in an instant Sasuke was gone, a cloud of thick smoke, blurred footprints, and evil, killer chakra intent, the only sign he'd ever been there. When Kakashi returned to the training grounds, he was unsurprised to see a missing Sakura. Whatever reason she was gone was unknown, a jealous Uchiha, and a pouting blonde, both sitting at opposite sides of the training ground. He sighed, as he heard Sasuke mutter a "Dobi," Naruto utter a "Tem," and within seconds they were sparring with new determination. "Fuck you, Sasuke," he whispered as he saw the Uchiha pin the blonde, gaze at him and smirk maliciously as if to say, "You can't beat me." And the Junin was sure he couldn't. He wasn't exactly sure what they were battling over, but he had a good idea. He wanted to beat the Uchiha up so badly. He gazed fondly at Naruto's flushed and frustrated face and sighed as dirty thoughts resurfaced in his mind. I can't think about him like this. It's wrong. I'm his sensei and he's my student. I'm too old. Tsunade will fire me. His brain rattled off excuses. He then saw Naruto, quick as lightning, use the Uchiha's distraction to his advantage as he kneed him in the stomach and flipped them over so their positions were switched. Naruto was now the one pinning Sasuke. He sent a triumphant smile to Kakashi that made the latter man's heart melt. Fuck. Being fired. HMPH. It's not like this job pays much anyway. He then put his arms behind his head after placing his Ika Bak away in the chest pocket of his Junin vest. He contented his perverted thoughts with mind-corrupting images of an uke. Naruto, his rational sense of mind was stomped away by the heavy shoe of pedophiliac fortification. He rested, cheeks tinted, yet brain free of worry. End flashback. Oh, so that's how it started, Kaka-sensei. Ah, Naruto-kun. Hee. I thought it was a little strange that you had the bulge in your pants while you gave me the talk and that you kept shifting. Kakashi's blush burned through his mask. Naruto gracefully stood from the bed and pulled Kakashi to his chest, wrapping his arms around the taller man's waist. Thank you, Kakashi. The Junin's whole face was now crimson. What for? What is he thanking me for? For giving me the talk, and not molesting me. Also for explaining your feelings to me. I really appreciate it. The silver-haired man wrapped his strong arms around the blonde as well and they silently cuddled until it was finally Naruto's time to go. Kakashi. Gah, I hate sharing my feelings. But if it keeps me in this competition. Naruto. Ah, Kakashi was so sweet. I can't believe he discovered his feelings for me while giving me the talk. It makes him seem as such a pervert, but it's better that I received all my sexual education from him rather than Jiraiya. Shudders, it was really sweet that he made me feel good about myself. I realized I don't need to have dark hair, be tall with huge biceps, and a emo bastard to be a seam. Naruto Uzumaki. First blonde, blue-eyed, slightly, very slightly, feminine-bodied, seam. Believe it. Kiba Garden 1 to 4:05 p.m. Hey much shit. How's it going? Kiba's head snapped away from the game of fetch he was enjoying with Akamaru. Akamaru saw the blonde and yipped happily, momentarily stopping after throwing the Naru plushie to his master. Kiba quickly removed the blonde toy from his mouth and hid it behind his back, that was just a while ago thrown to him to fetch by his pet. Hey Foxy. I'm fine, you still alive after being bored to death by those last two mind-numbing dipshits? Naruto blushed at the double meaning to Foxy, and then smirked. Mind-numbing dipshits, are you promising me a good time? Of course. You and me should go paint this village red. Red. Why not orange? Naruto's face turned up in a scowl. Kiba looked at the blonde weird, but finally shrugged his shoulders. Whatever you want, baby. Kiba is so nice. The Inu boy was glomped. That I am, Naru Koi. That I am. He rubbed the small of the blonde's back. Naruto buried his head further into Kiba's neck, inhaling the wild, spontaneous, uncontrollable scent of the Inuzuka. Come with me behind those bushes and I'll show you how nice I am. Kiba winked and nipped the blonde's ear. Naruto jumped back and swatted at the other playfully, but his gaze was serious. I learned my lesson last time with that other baka. I may be a dumbass, but I never make the same mistake twice, Tabeo. Kiba frowned, unsure of the blonde's meaning, but shrugged it off aside for later pondering as he asked the blonde. Then what do you want to do, Talk. Yes, Kiba. Did I stutter? Talk. Did you talk with Sai and Kakashi? Naruto scratched the back of his head nervously. His false smile was sheepish. Naruto's confessional. It's not an entire lie. Remembers meeting with Sai an hour ago, perhaps what I should have said was that I intended to talk with them. Shrug, what can you do? Okay. Kiba shrugged, oblivious to Naruto's obvious discomfort. Oblivious. Maybe these two are more alike than we thought. Let's talk. Come with me. Naruto smiled while holding the other's calloused hand, intertwining his fingers with the other's slightly clawed ones. The blonde led the brunette and his never-straying pet to a classic ivory bench, under a swaying branch willow tree. The surroundings were made of flowers and buds that glistened from the shower one of the many gardeners had given them mere hours before. The grass was an overwatered, nearly blue-green. The birds were chirping a merry tune in the high branches of trees and the little delicate butterfly wings danced before the warmness of a multicolored rainbow. But the two, so similar, decided the whole scene was too girlishly romantic for them, and chose to remove their attention from their surroundings and instead focus on each other. Kiba, when did you realize that you had feelings for me? Naruto questioned, his deep eyes serious as he gazed into Kiba's black slittish irises. The red markings of the Inuzuka's cheeks became invisible in the heat of his blush. Wait. What? When did you discover you had feelings for me, Kiba? Kiba twiddled his fingers together and looked down, his face a tomato, a habit he undoubtedly picked up from Hinata. Do I really have to tell you? Naruto was shocked at this new Kiba he was seeing. He wouldn't believe it if he was told this from somebody else, but how can you deny such a fact when you're seeing the truth right in front of your eyes? Kiba, okay, lem explain just please don't be mad at me because it hasn't my ide twasker and I senseis. Okay, okay. Okay. Alright. Go ahead, Kiba. Naruto, for once in his life, waited patiently for his friend to gather his courage and then he began to speak. Flashback. Kurenai sensei, I don't think this is a good idea. The red eyes Kunoichi smiled. Of course it is, Kiba. Would I ever steer you wrong? Actually, don't answer that. I really don't think this is a good revenge tactic. Maybe if we think this out a little more, we can come up with a better plan, you know. Kurenai's triumphant smirk faded and a serious look came to her eyes. Where's the Kiba I know that would jump at the chance of such revenge, huh? Where's the Kiba I know that would want to rip the blonde's reputation apart for that cruel prank he played on you, Not only did Naruto-kun steal your woman, he embarrassed you, made you look like a fool in front of her. She then started to giggle a bit. Though I have to admit, that was pretty funny. Who knew you wore Inuyasha boxers? He growled at his sensei and her girly giggles immediately ceased in fear. Grr. That is right. How could he do that to me? Embarrass me for a good laugh. Exclamation mark. We don't get along well, but we still have a stable friendship. He always breaks sweet Hinata's heart when he goes after Sakura, it always kinda hurts mine, too. And he pretends he's all oblivious to her feelings and he knows that I like her and he did that in front of all the Kunoichi and Hinata. Especially Hinata. Then he laughed. Why did he laugh, Kurenai-sensei? 'Cause it was funny. Another growl cut her off. Kiba's blush returned and Akamaru rubbed his head affectionately against his best friend's leg in sympathy. And for your information, Inuyasha is the best goddamn show ever. He did a nice guy pose. Kurenai sweat dropped. --. Okay, Akamaru, wait on this branch and be quiet. Kiba whispered to his canine friend as he sat in a tree by the window of his blonde ex-friend's apartment. He smirked as he remembered the plan. Step 1. Get into the apartment. He leapt to the outside ledge of the window, used a quick standard ninjutsu technique and within 8 seconds was within the blonde's small, shabby apartment. Step 1. Complete. Step 2. Find the bedroom. Kiba looked at his surroundings and quickly realized he was in Naruto's tight-spaced bathroom. He squeezed himself to the door, opened it, and quickly found the single room connected to the others without a door. The room contained a small television, video game stationery, comics, half-nude girl calendar, empty ramen cups, genjutsu scrolls, comics, and a small stained mattress on the floor with 2 thick blankets on it in disarray. The bedroom. Step 2. Complete. Step 3. Position the evidence. That isn't hard, the Inuzuka smirked. He unstrapped the duffel bag on his shoulder, pulling out all the dildos, gags, leather shorts, yaoi, shonenai comics, all 63 Ika novels, gay movie tapes, and Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, storing it all under the blonde's mattress. He smiled at the large lump pushing up the bed. That oughta draw some attention, he smirked. Now to wait for Naruto and the 4 other Kunoichis to arrive. Hinata or Sakura, being so perceptive, will find the evidence and Naruto's reputation will be ruined for life. Step 4. Wait, patiently. Kiba remembered how Kurenai stressed the last word. He can be patient. Very patient. Yes he could. He leapt out the window next to Akamaru and waited. 2 minutes later. I'm so bored. Hinata, Sakura, Ino, Tenten and Naruto are taking too long. Arg. 5 minutes later. When are they coming? Akamaru's ears were flat on his head and he whined. Kiba was so loud. He's gonna give their position away anytime now. Kiba paid no mind and continued complaining. 20 minutes later. Kiba was asleep. 22 minutes later. Kiba awoke. 25 minutes later. Naruto and the girls arrive. Akamaru barked in happiness. Okay, Akamaru. This is it. Let's go. The infamous duo changed their position to the other side of the apartment, and watched as Naruto carried the girls' loads and loads of shopping bags into his apartment. Hinata, the only one holding her own, blush as Naruto opened the door for them and she carried herself and her tiny, modest bag into the blonde's apartment. The other girls came in, chatting and laughing. Hinata was quiet as she took in her surroundings. This was her first time in her crush's apartment. She inhaled deeply. Ignore the strong reek of stale ramen, and it smelled just like him. She blushed. Ma, take your bags. My arms are jelly. The giggling girls quickly retrieved the newly bought belongings from the suffering blonde. He stretched out his arms. Never again are you guys taking me on another one of your mall raving shopping sprees. My arms are so damaged. I'll need to see Ba-chan after this. Damn you all. And you don't even seem the least bit sorry after what you did to me. Fuck. He cursed as he felt something pop in his shoulder. Ah, Naru-chan. You know how sorry we are. We never like to hurt you. Ino cooed, petting his blonde hair. They all took turns kissing him on the cheek. Hinata's pupil-less eyes narrowed in jealousy, not only because she was jealous of how they kissed her Naruto, yes, she admits she's only slightly possessive. Who isn't when it comes to someone like Naruto, but also at how she could never find the courage those girls seemed to be born with and kiss her love on the cheek as well. The blonde's face went red and his anger and pain were soon forgotten. Naruto made them all something to snack on. They talked about random things, until the subject of Naruto's latest prank came up. Kiba, still outside the window, strained his sensitive ears to hear. Haha, Naruto, that was so mean. I can't believe you did that. Ino laughed. Mean? He questioned, honestly confused. How could it be mean? Yeah, Sakura chimed in. You know how he feels about someone. He threw a significant glance at Hinata. It wasn't very nice to do that to him in front of that person. Ten began to laugh too. But you have to admit, it was hilarious. Naruto, not understanding why Sakura looked at Hinata when she mentioned someone of Kiba's, chose not to dwell on it and instead turned towards the group of girls, a non-amused expression on his face. Kiba and Akamaru watched silently. No, you guys have it all wrong. That prank, it wasn't meant to be mean. You see, you guys know how I pranked all of you. The girls' humorous expressions left in a flash and grimness was on their faces. How could Sakura forget the pickle incident? Or Ino the hair-curling catastrophe? Ten will forever remember that one day she was attempting to tie her signature buns up with ribbons. And even Hinata's love-struck expression grew weary at the memory of her rock-climbing expedition. Naruto quickly continued as he felt the temperature in the room drop by several degrees. I tricked everybody. Our senseis, Hokage, Ero Sennin, Sasuke, Neji, Temari, Ayame Ichiraku girl, and her dad, everybody. Except Kiba. I never realized it until the week before the prank. You see, I prank people to show that I care. Why? Because overall, it's the only nonviolent thing I'm good at. I show you my affection and I make my other friends laugh. I thought you all realized this. Anyways, as I was going over my most front-page worthy pranks, I realized that I never targeted Kiba. He was always the one helping me, you know. But I thought that if I didn't prank him, he would feel left out. So I did. A really good one. To show I really care. But unfortunately, he took it the wrong way and hasn't spoken to me since. He sighed. That's why I got him this. He opened up his single shopping bag to reveal a light brown puppy with red triangles on his cheeks and a feral grin, similar to the young Inuzuka's. He turned the plush toy over to reveal the words, "Too much shit." From Foxy, on its backside in Ravage script. The girls, Auden, oot at the explanation and gift. 1 month, 2 weeks and 2 days after Naruto pulled the prank. 3 weeks, 4 days after Kurenai and I devised our plan. 5 days, 8 hours to obtain all the needed materials. 28 minutes to stealthily break into the apartment and plant the evidence. Yet, only 11.2 seconds to break into the apartment again, retrieve all evidence, and ruin many days of revenge-worthy work. He can't hurt the blonde off for witnessing such a heart-warming confession and adorable gift as that. Kurenai-sensei will be so disappointed. Kurenai watched, snickering, as Kiba carried home a bag full of dangerous reputation-killing material. Burn it, Kiba. It took a lot of precious time to complete her self-given mission, but she was glad it was a success. Now that Kiba was no longer drooling over Hinata, maybe training could be normal again. She smiled, after the way she saw Kiba look at Naruto after he got him that present, such tenderness in his eyes, she believes the brunette realized that Hinata wasn't as important to him anymore. End flashback. Kiba looked at Naruto's eyes shyly, ashamed of his past actions. Naruto was glaring at him. You were trying to trick me, king of pranks. He dubbed himself. Kiba felt anger flare to life. I would've. Actually, I saved your life. You could have possibly died to all the blood that would have wound up in your head from blushing. It wouldn't have worked, the blonde said calmly, arms folded across his chest and head turned to the side. Yes, it would've. Kiba copied the other's bodily gesture and calm composure. Wait, so was it you that put that thing there? Thing? Kiba questioned. Yay. That same night when I was going to sleep, I felt something lumpy under my mattress. Oh, Kiba thought in worry, what if I accidentally left something? It's long and orange. He blushed. It kinda resembles the banana between my legs. Oh god, but it's okay. I really like it. I use it all the time. Naruto, I am so sore wait. What? I use it all the time. He repeated. It works so well. You have to tell me where you got it. They come in different colors, right? The dildo. Dildo. That's what they're called. God. I love them. To be honest, I still prefer the real things. Noosebleed. I gotta go. Kiba left the garden in a flash. Akamaru, who was happily chasing a butterfly, stopped and looked at the blonde as if to say, what did you do? 'Cause if you dare hurt him. Naruto gulped then shrugged. Akamaru quickly chased after Kiba, barking loudly all the way. Naruto didn't bother going after them seeing as their conversation time was nearly over anyway. But why did Kiba freak out? He loved his dildo. Everyone should have one. There is even a special button that makes it vibrate. He uses his dildo to unclog his sink when he accidentally throws his badly cooked ramen down the drain. When you put it on vibrate, it really gets the grime out. Kiba. The meeting was very, nosebleed, oh no. Naruto. He honestly thought he could trick me. What a laugh. Shino Garden 4 to 4:35 p.m. Naruto took his time to meet Shino, seeing as the gardens weren't that far apart. It was nice to relax and enjoy the scenery. When he finally made it to the bug user, he wasn't shocked to find out that he blended in perfectly with his surroundings. Shinu. Naruto yelled to his current companion, disturbing the peace and tranquility of the scene. Naruto. You are too loud. Shino was ignored and instead pulled by a tanned hand to a sakura tree. They sat under its cooling branches. So, Naruto tried to start conversation, but his attempts were in vain. There is something you want to ask me, Naruto-kun. Naruto was shocked. Wow, you're good. Okay. He closed his eyes, previously told that his blue depths give himself away. What number am I thinking of? I'm not psychic, Naruto-kun. Naruto blinked, confused. Then howdy. I don't need your words to know what you are thinking. The psychic thing, you did it again. Naruto felt flustered. Your question, Shino reminded him. Ah, right. Well, I was just wondering. Even though he had asked this question to other competitors, it wasn't getting easier to blurt out. Naruto's confessional. Why did Iruka-sensei make me ask them such personal questions? Gah. When I fell in love with you. Shino interjected helpfully. Naruto's eyes rivaled saucers. How? Are you sure you're no? Ah, Naruto. I'm sure I'm not psychic. Naruto shook his head, dazed, and then motioned for Shino to explain. Well, do you remember that mission that we had together when we were genins? Episode 186, Laughing Shino. Lovely filler. Flashback. Haha. Shino, that was such a great mission, Quote. Quote. Let's hurry back to Konoha. I'm craving Ichiraku's. Quote. Quote. Will you buy me Ikiraku's, Shino? Quote. Maybe. If you behave. Quiet. Before you attract Rouge Ninja. Under the promise of his favorite ramen, Naruto stayed quiet for 2 more hours. Yet, he jumped around excitedly as a way to exert pent-up energy. Let's camp here for the night. But Shinu, Konoha is only 10 miles away. We discussed you questioning my authority, Naruto. It's 11 p.m. We stayed out late enough as it is. Set up the tents. I'll get dinner. I'm not eating no nasty ass bugs, Shino. Get meat. Shino glared at him for even presuming that he would dare hurt one of nature's precious insects to temporarily satisfy the idiot's black hole of a stomach. Fuck off. Shino spat at the blonde. Naruto gasped, but Shino was gone. When Shino returned with a dead gopher, Naruto was already in their tent. When Shino began cooking the gopher, Naruto didn't drift out on his toes, nose in the air, at the smell of meat. When Shino finished eating his share of the gopher, he saved the rest for Naruto, assuming he was asleep. When the brunette came into his tent to sleep after cleaning up after a lonesome dinner, he was shocked but didn't show it that Naruto was wide awake, his blue eyes rimmed red, only leaving the suspicion that he was crying. Naruto was looking at him with such heartbroken eyes. Shino turned away from the sight and said nothing, knowing that if he was caught in such a vulnerable position, though if that happened, the world would stop spinning on its axis, he wouldn't want to be spoken to. He got into his sleeping bag and rested for bed. 30 minutes later, he felt a pressure of another presence on his sleeping bag. The presence showed no malice intent, only curiosity. He didn't move a muscle except to stealthily grab a kunai under his pillow, for protective purposes. He felt 2 calloused fingers gently remove his round dark shades and heard the mysterious visitor place them beside his sleeping form. Fingers traced his eyelids and brushed against his brows and lashes. It smoothed out tension-induced wrinkles on his forehead, and softened the adult lines on the corners of his 12-year-old lips. Shino became stone still, and could easily be assumed as dead. He then felt this male, he presumed, to then began unbutton his high-collar jacket quickly, with suddenly cold, trembling fingers. Oh Kami. Is this man trying to rape me? For the first time in Shino's life, he felt truly, honestly, get ready to piss your pants, scared. And flattered. But only a bit. He grabbed the wandering hands with an ice-cold grip and opened his coal-black eyes to regard Naruto. Naruto was stunned into submission as he, for the first time in his long time of knowing the other boy, looked into Shino's eyes. Wow. Shino growled. Naruto. What are you doing? Why are you mad at me? Mad at you? I'm not mad at you. You told me to fuck off. 'Cause I was mad, but not at you. He rushed the last part. But you see you. So, just because I'm quiet I'm not allowed to let loose a bit of profanity here and there. Anyone else would have been able to. Kiba, Sasuke, even Sakura, without the threat of being violated in the middle of the night. Sorry, I was just curious. Naruto blushed. About. Shino pressed. You. What you look like. Why you hide. What you're hiding from. How those bugs feel beneath your skin. Why you don't let others touch you. How come? Enough. You now know what I look like, right? Naruto nodded. All in all, Shino looked normal. Granted, he's no Sasuke or Neji. But, he is no Candyman, with countless insects crawling out of every orifice. I hide from nothing. I wear these clothes simply because it is what I like. Sunglasses are cool. Naruto was shocked. Who knew Shino cared about his appearance? He learned today that the boy's reputation was very important after being threatened not to tell anyone about how he was so entertaining at the funeral. The bugs underneath my skin feel comforting. Like a constant massage. See, can I touch my face? You already did. I held back because I didn't want to wake you. If I press in the right spots, can I feel the bugs? Shino took Naruto's hand and pressed it into certain points on his face. Naruto giggled, laughing that the insects tickled the tips of his fingers beneath the thick skin. Shino sighed, content, holding Naruto's warm hand in his own, pressing tan fingertips to his face, touching someone after so long. It felt very refreshing. He looked at Naruto's face as it was scrunched up in awe. He knew his bloodline limit was nothing to be jealous of. Even though people shied away from him, even his genin team being uncomfortable with him during their first meeting, Shino never wished to live without his bugs. They were both a part of each other and he cherished them with his life. He's never been kissed. Girls afraid that with the touch of open lips, swarms upon swarms of bugs will invade their bodies and eat their organs. He heard some crazy rumors about his clan and the Aburame bugs. But damn it. He was not the Candyman. Even his mother, born without the bloodline limit and as female as ever, believed their clan was disgusting. To truly live life with bugs infested beneath their skin was not living at all. Yet, she never left the clan. He never forgot the disappointment that shined through her tears as he proudly discovered his bloodline limit. After that, his mother refrained from hugging him, much less making any physical contact with him or his father. Needless to say, Shino is an only child. When they returned to Konoha the next day, Shino treated Naruto to Ichiraku ramen. End flashback. I wrote you a poem. Shino said. Naruto smiled. You're a poet, Shino. The bug boy shrugged shyly. He quickly shoved the flooded paper into Tan's hands. Naruto handed it back. Can you read it to me? Shino took back the creased paper with trembling hands. He opened up the paper and cleared his throat. Here we go, Naruto. Notice me. It's called, Fleas Interest Me So Much. Naruto nodded, smiling, yet internally wondering how such a poem could relate to him. Fleas interest me so much that I let them bite me for hours. They are perfect, ancient, Sanskrit machines that admit of no, do not bite to eat. They bite only to jump. They are the dancers of the celestial sphere. Delicate acrobats in the softest and most profound circus. Let them gallop on my skin. Divulge their emotions. Amuse themselves with my blood. But someone should introduce them to me. I want to know them closely. I want to know what to rely on. An. Poem by Pablo Poet. I hoped you all didn't think I was capable of writing poetry. Naruto clapped his hands in glee. Can I keep it? Shino handed the paper back to him. Of course. It's yours. Naruto grinned, having no idea what the poem meant, but promising himself to have Iruka explain it to him later. Thank you so much. How nice. They both stood up and brushed imaginary, or not so imaginary considering where they were sitting, dirt off their pants. Time for me to meet Gaara. Bye, Shino. Shino kissed the blonde on the cheek, smiling inwardly that the smaller boy didn't even flinch. Bye, Naruto-kun. Naruto blushed and then hugged the insect user. His tan fingers pressed into his back and he giggled softly at how he could still feel the bugs beneath the other's skin. He then raced out of the garden as to not be late for his next meeting. Shino smiled. He's still so warm. Shino. Naruto. I didn't know that mission meant so much to Shino. And that poem was so sweet. Iruka will explain it to me. Or maybe Moegi. Girls are smart with the poetry, symbolism, metaphor crap, right? Sweat drop. Gaara main fountain 5:05 p.m. Gaara waited patiently leaning against the fountain. He smiled at the blonde that strolled towards him up the brick pathway. Hi, Gaara. Naruto smiled. Gaara twitched his lips upward, his rendition of a smile. Good evening, Naruto. How have you been? Competition going well for you? I'm very confident. The redhead smirked. Gaara's confessional. Understatement. The blue-eyed boy blushed. How were your other dates? Gaara asked suddenly, his voice dangerously calm. Gaara, these aren't dates. I'm just getting to know you all better. You've known us for years, why do you need to get to know us better? Hey, Gaara, if you have better things to do than talk to me, you could have just said so. You're not forced to be here, you know. Naruto yelled out, angered, oblivious, scoff like this as a surprise to Gaara's badly concealed jealousy. No, Naruto, you have it all wrong. I don't want you to talk, or in any way be, with them. Sabuku hurriedly tried to explain, in hopes to calm down the blonde's easily ignitable anger. Naruto blinked and cocked his head to the side. Why? Because. Blink. Because. Quote. Pause. Because I don't want anyone else to touch you. Readers, can you hear the metaphorical crickets in the background? Okay, Mr. Possessive. Well, actually that's Tem's title, so why don't I call you Jelly-chan? What the fuck? Jelly-chan. He gets Mr. Possessive, but I get Jelly-chan, the hell? Naruto scowled, eyes narrowed. So cute. Jelly-chan as in Jealous-chan. I thought it was cuter than Mr. Possessive, but if you don't like it, I'll just call you Gaara. Gaara blinked, a finger to his chin, nose to the sky, a contemplative moment. Gaara's confessional. Jelly-chan is cuter than Mr. Possessive. Now that you think of it, Gaara is such an ugly name. What was Mother thinking? How come there wasn't someone like Naruto around to tell her I wanted to be named Jelly-chan? This new epiphany has brightened my life, opened my eyes, revealed new doors of endless hopes and Gaara. Jelly-chan. Jelly-chan it is. Naruto beamed. It took 3.2 seconds for Gaara's heart to recover. Come on, let's talk. The demon vessel couple walked and sat at the edge of the gushing fountain. A silencing jutsu was placed on the water so the two could hear each other comfortably. So, Gaara, when did you realize you? Naruto searched for the right word. Could he really use a word like love around a person like Gaara? I mean, the redhead is his friends and all, but let's get on the real note. He's scary. Plain and simple. He said he only loved himself. Were attracted to me. Well, I was attracted to you ever since I first saw you. But if you mean to say as of when I began to have feelings for you. He trailed off in question. Yeah that. Naruto trailed off, blushing for the 1000th time that day. So many men, and not even counting all of them, liking him to this degree. Sweet. Laughing face. Gaara caught the hesitance in the other's tone as soon as the blonde asked the question. Naruto, when I was 12, I was insane. Ignore what I said back then. He grabbed tan hands in his own and leaned over close to look deep within cerulean eyes. When I met you and I fought you as Shukaku, you made me realize there was so much more to my existence than killing and bloodshed. Darkness and despair. You saved me from me, Naruto. From the darkness that was Thria. His epic speech of gratitude towards Naruto was cut short. The shorter teen pointed to the wristwatch on his left wrist. Not to be mean, Gaara, really, but we don't have much time so I'd really like you to answer the question. Besides the whole, thank you, Naruto for saving me from my eternal darkness. Is kinda cliché. I've heard it from everybody. The villagers, people I was protecting on missions, Sasuke, Neji, Kakashi, Hinata, Shino, Sai, damn even Choji. Chouji. Gaara shrugged sympathetically. Yeah, I see what you mean. The question, oh yes. Well you see, it all truly started. Flashback. So we go to this orphanage, spend 3 hours with these kids, and make tons of cash. Isn't hard for me to figure out. You, Gaara. Quote. Yeah, me too. Naruto smiled. Quote. You think so? The blonde beamed again. Quote. I'll ask her. Ba-chan, why'd you bring Gaara all the way from San to go on a mission with me? Because like you, Naruto, Gaara holds a demon within him. What does that have to do with anything? The children that you are going to meet have lost everything. You two are here to help them realize that no matter how bad their lives are, she gestured to both of them, it could always be worse. Wow. Naruto muttered with sarcasm. Thanks. Gaara. Try to be a little less What is it that you are always calling that Uchiha, Gaki, emo? Please. I'm not emo. Of course you aren't, dear. I'm just a liar. Tsunade rolled her eyes and Naruto chuckled. Try to be a bit more, Sunny. cheerful. If they see you acting the way you are, they might turn out like, well, a 12-year-old version of you. It was Gaara's turn to roll his eyes. How is this mission helping Suna? Quote. Silence from both Tsunade and, surprisingly enough, Naruto. I thought so. Well, off you go. Tsunade waved them away after throwing them their detailed mission scroll. Haha. Naru Nichan. That's so cool. I want to become a ninja too so I can do that. The boys and girls clapped appreciatively as they watched Naruto do another balance trick on the water. And then climb up a wall using his two pinkies. And then do an Olympic gymnastic routine with his clones. He was the obvious favorite among the children. Gaara watched it all from the shadows, quietly amused. A shy boy in the corner, with normal brown hair and eyes, ignored the excited chatter and applause. He fumbled with a worn, tattered sneaker on his left foot. His tiny hands fumbled with the strings, and they tangled, like confused snakes, around his fingers and palms. His tongue poked out of the corner of his lips, his eyes were narrowed in concentration, a droplet of sweat drizzled slowly down his temple. Gaara chuckled. The boy looked so much like Naruto while practicing his chakra. He went over to the quiet kid and silently helped him untangle his hands from their stringy trap. Thank you. The boy smiled in gratitude. What are you trying to do here? Gaara asked, already knowing the answer, yet trying to start up conversation with this timid child. Tie my shoes. Really? The boy nodded his head. Ah, and Naruto said he could do anything. And anyone can do anything if they try. No matter what. He said when he becomes Hokage, he'll find us all good homes. I want to be like Naruto Nisan and make him proud. Daddy was teaching me how to tie my shoelaces before he and Mom, ddd. That's okay. Gaara rested a comforting hand on his shoulder. You don't have to say it. Thank you, Gaara-san. Well, ever since then I haven't tried and so I had to wear sneakers with straps since none of the caretakers had time to teach me. But I still want to learn how to tie my shoelaces so I can finally wear the shoes that my mom bought for me before she, left. Here, Gaara picked up the shoelaces, a lace in each hand. I don't wear sneakers anymore. He showed the kid his ninja-regulated footgear, but I'll show you how I learned from long ago. It may not be the same as how your father was planning on teaching you, but do your best to try and understand. The kid nodded. Name? Gaara asked before he began. Hiyashu. Okay. Hai-chan, here we go. Watch carefully. The rabbit come out of his hole, 2 loops, remember this, and runs around the tree. Loop around other loop. Got it, but he won't stop laughing at you. Okay, so you grab it by the tail, is this right? Whatever. Then, pull, and it rips off your hand. You follow the trail of blood, back to its hole. Gaara-san is getting a little violent with this. Should I stop him? So then you reach in, pull the rabbit out, and then you strangle him. PP pull. Ga. By this time, Hiyashu had his eyes covered in fear, but when he opened them tentatively to look at his shoe, he was surprised to see that his shoelaces were in a perfect bow. Gaara, unfazed by the boy's fear, smiled as much as he can. See. Perfect. And now you're ready to walk around. Do you mind showing me that a few more times, Gaara? The redhead shrugged. Sure. Let's go again. He was ready to untie the strings but Hiyashu stopped him. Wait. Hiyashu held his hand up in warning. What? Let me go change my pants. And the brown-eyed boy tottered off. End flashback. Wow. Gaara. Yeah, wow. What does that have to do with me? You see, I realized it was you out on the side watching the entire thing. The blonde gasped. You planned that entire thing with Hiyashu so I'll be able to connect more with humans. Thank you. It worked. It was then I realized how much you cared about me. How much everyone cared about me all along when I thought I was so alone. Thank you, Naruto. Naruto's confessional. Scratches back of head nervously, that's alright. I planned that whole thing. Good job on figuring it out, Gaara. Naruto lied between his teeth with a sheepish smile. Gaara smiled back. Unfortunately, our time is up. Time for me to go meet up with. Naruto checked his schedule. Neji. Gaara grumbled. Fine. The blonde waved as he jogged away. Bye Gaara. Bye, my baka. Gaara. Naruto. Halfway through this thing and I'm already tired. Ga. All the emotion. Maybe this more stoic side of the competition will let me relax a bit, right? Huh, right.